Well, a lot of people still think that Oasis are getting back together, I guess, and a lot of people think that this is just a side step until me and Noel get our heads together, but I haven't spoke to Noel, and he hasn't spoke to me.
Does the Oasis thing feel like it's gone, it's done?
Done, man, it's done. I honestly think it's fucking done.
Say what you believe.
I'm not nervous about anything, I wouldn't put it out if I was nervous. So I hope people like it. If you don't like it, go fuck themselves.
In the fucking area!
Check that, man. It's a fucking Lana Del Rey video, man. It's great being a singer in Oasis and all that, but that's all I was, you know what I mean? This is a bit more doors for me to learn. You don't just want to be singing fucking other people's songs for the rest of your life, you know what I mean? You want to fucking learn your craft. And there wasn't room to really do that in Oasis. There is.
If I'm honest with you, I haven't really been a fan of... I wasn't even a fan of Oasis that much. And I hated that whole Britpop thing. I just didn't want anything to do with it. And I kind of, if I'm honest, I was like, I don't want to do this, but I'd go to the meeting, I'd be nice, I'd be polite, and I'd say at the time, I'm really sorry, I can't do it. So I went to the meeting and she put the music on, the music was brilliant. And I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. And so as soon as I heard the tracks, I was like, yeah, let's give it a shot.
Does it feel like a very different record to the last one?
Massively different, hugely different. Because this one was the sound of us regrouping as mates, as people. And going, right, okay. I'm glad that last two was over, because there was a few moments that weren't smooth and, and like, just ending up, I suppose, playing festivals in the pouring rain, when people weren't aware who Beady were.
Fucking that burgers with that G4 again, man, that fucking busker the other day, man.
What, the geezer outside your house?
Yeah, I fucking got out, but I'm recycling at fucking 7 o'clock in the morning, and he's fucking pops up with 2 clutches. I put it all out nice and neatly. He's pops up with 2 fucking clutches, stuck them in there, and I've gone, yeah, take your clutches and fuck off.
You don't mess with the man's recycling.
Exactly, it's like fucking, it's not cool. And he come round my house with his mobile phone, he says, yeah mate, you don't like, would you pay me bill for me? I was like, do you want to fucking come in and fucking shag me missus and fucking drive me Range Rover? I think I'm part of that game. I was watching that game yesterday with fucking finger. I was sitting there, I was going, what are you fucking whinging about? What's his name? Michael Douglas?
Yeah.
Fucking happens every day. We're off. Let's go and see Zane Lowe. It's DJ who's playing Second Bite of the Apple, first time tonight. We're gonna have a little chat with him, check out how it is.
The album is called B, it's out June 10th. That comes out at the end of April. It's called Second Bite at the Apple, Beady are back. What a wonderful, glorious, chaos, mess, beautiful groove that is. You know what I mean? When it all starts and the drums, everything's kind of kicking off around each other. Yeah, it's cool. Whose idea was that? Throw it all in the mix.
Well, the original tune didn't sound like that, and this is when Dave Sidek sort of like come into. He went, look man, we should do something fucking different, a bit weirder. And then we didn't have it, we were like that, going like that, look man, it was the last song we were going, look, we ain't got any more of this weird
Last song of the whole album session?
Yeah,
wow.
It was.
We were like experimented out, as they say, you know what I mean? We went, look, you start, and then he wouldn't start, and then Jeff was on the bass, and I said, look man, how about doom 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 doom, then Chris started the drums, and it sort of took off on that.
It does, it feels, obviously it's a band, but it feels more like a group than maybe it did with Oasis. It feels like you're... Is democratic the right word?
Yeah, it is.
I vote yes, it is. What do you say again?
Well, obviously.
People should come up with another fucking word, but friends that get on with each other, like giving each other fucking, space to do what they're doing, be creative and that, you know what I mean? The other band was just about one person. There's many bands like that sometimes works, but this is working for us, and I don't want to be in a band with someone who's in control all the time. I'd rather go and work in fucking McDonald's.
Just following you, man.
Just right.
We're in Classic FM. Let's get in here.
Don't know where
That's Classic FM.
Oh, I think we're going that way and then down. Yeah.
we're starting to realise now what the band is as a separate entity from Oasis or from any preconceptions people might have. I mean, that's why Dave was such a great person to bring in.
Yeah, he claimed he'd never heard an Oasis song or something.
But that's his ideal. No, of course it's not true. You know, the important thing is he didn't come in wanting to make What's the Story, Morning Glory Part 2 or 3.
This second album, did you start there and think, almost like a manifesto of what you wanted to get down on this record?
I think with the songs we had already, we could have gone in and done Different Gear, Still Speeding Part 2, but the ingredient that changed it was Dave.
And why did you choose Dave Saito?
No one else had worked with us.
Yeah, we did
True
go
story.
through the pages again, didn't we?
So how was it working with C-Tech? I know you weren't particularly familiar with his work before.
Never heard of him, never heard of his music, never heard of him. Didn't really care, didn't really want to, I just thought, fuck it, we're going in there to make that record, with or without him. When he decided to come and do it, that was it. I just knocked at the door. All right, I'm Dave, all right, I'm Liam. Let's get it on, you know what I mean?
The end of Don't Brother Me, they're going, this is from the album, fucking hell.
Oh yeah, off the Q thing.
Yeah,
they're loving that, aren't
Which is all a plot, wasn't it, really?
Listen, the fucking man can't reverse his own fucking bastard tune.
In his
What's
own
the
house.
fucking world come to, eh?
Exactly.
Hey? It's when you start reversing other people's tunes and putting fucking vocals over it, that's when you fucking bang tight.
you
But
cross the line.
fucking hell, man. Fucking world come to, man. Siggy's cousin.
Do you guys practice here much then?
Well, these do. I don't.
Yeah.
Every now and again.
Yeah.
No, I'd try.
The Phantom G.
Black Hole is the album in one pedal. In fact, I've got to get a spare.
So you use that a lot on the
If
album
you
then?
took this pedal off our album, you'll be left with Different Gear, Still Speeding. That's off. Yeah.
Soak it up, man. That's it.
It's like when the band split, I think we were still in a state of motion, you know, there was this inertia. And it took time for that to kind of calm down and for us to realise our position. And then to start up again, this feels solid, you know, not just like shit, we've got to have a live set, we've got to, you know, it's a record, it's a proper record, man.
We really prepared like heavily for going in the studio. Like we wrote the tunes, made demos, learnt them and then rehearsed them the way we had them, so that we were kind of then ready to go wherever with them in the studio with a producer. And Dave Sitek really tested that. We'd be playing a song that would sound kind of like a Paul Wellery type thing, or like our first album or Oasis or something, and it would get ejected in favour of a trip to space.
We've got basically one pair of maracas between 5 grown-ups. That's all. They have more in the primary school around the corner. Yeah.
You said they've been on order for 3 weeks. There's a
Maraca Gate.
shortage.
The mood seems really confident in like the BDI camp at the moment.
We love this record, we love this band, we love what we do, and we always have done, whether it was in another band or another band. This is what we do. We wouldn't do it if we were scared or petrified. We'd do your job, wouldn't we?
I think it's fair to say that Flick of a Finger kind of surprised everyone.
Yeah, surprised us as well. We always knew that that was going to be a good song eventually. Liam had the riff, sort of the guitar riff and the melody during the Oasis time.
It had the melody, na 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 na, and it had the kind of doo-doo-doo, but it never had the horns, and it never had the words. And then we come back to it on this album, and Andy and Gem wrote the words.
I think a lot of people didn't expect it with that amount of stuff on it that's not just guitar rock, if you know what I mean. I mean, even the song, I don't know, and we're still assessing it. Like, you know, you hear some of the fans commenting, they're like, well, there's no chorus and all that, and everything's like, yeah, well, so what? It's our fucking song. And it's like, the horns are the hook, let alone the whole political speech at the end kind of thing, you know. So there's a few new areas for us.
Are you guys getting to have kind of more fun than perhaps you did in Oasis? I mean, you look at like the Q shoot when you guys are like dressed up as spacemen and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know about more fun. I mean, you can have fun with those things as long as you don't, you know, lose control of what's going on.
I prefer to stand there like this, you know what I mean? But someone decided to put us in spacesuits, and I thought. So at first I was not having it. I was going, nah, I'm not having any of that. And then I put it on. I thought, yeah, I look pretty cool in it.
They should have sprung for 5 spacesuits instead of 1. We had to take turns.
Really?
It's all photoshopped.
It's the publishing industry today, man. It's falling apart.
Yeah.
Back in the 60s, you know.
They would have, or the 90s, mate.
To be honest with you, people's perceptions about what I do in every aspect, be it visually or music, I don't care. I'm not into things that are deemed to be cool or whatever. I just care about things that are good. You know, I worked on this project because I think the music is brilliant. You know, I don't care who they are. It's got nothing to do with that, you know. Admittedly, part of me, when you meet Liam Gallagher, it's a bit like, fuck, you mean like a British rock icon? And that's kind of like, it's kind of strange.
What's it like being in a band with Liam?
Top. Yeah, it's great. It's great. He's Liam, isn't he? So you become mates, you know what I mean, after a while, and then you don't think of him like that, and then it'll hit you, because you like, you go out there and there'll be a load of people or whatever, and it'll be like, hey, Liam. You know what I mean? But you kind of forget about it. Regular guy.
But he's nice to you?
He sounds to me, yeah. Not all the time, but most of the time.
HP sauces.
What's the rock?
Rocky.
Yeah, it's my favourite thing.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it has to be done.
I went to the fridge the other day and there was a fucking brand new one there, and I went, yes, like that. Opened it, popped it like champagne, fucking looked at the fucking date, and I was like, it was been there for a long time. Yeah, but it was brand new. And it had I bought it from a normal fucking shop, but I didn't open it, did I? But it was like,
did it smell funny?
Yeah, it had a weird taste. It was like fucking, fucking tango or something. Yeah, it was weird. I like everything to do with being in a band. If you can't talk about your band and you can't look good for your band, then you shouldn't be in a fucking band, you know what I mean? So I'm into the whole thing, you know what I mean? And I think that's why people liked Oasis and still do, and like Beady and like us, because we embrace it, you know what I mean? We don't moan about it, we just get on with it, that's what it's about. Oasis wouldn't have been Oasis if we were just fucking squares playing guitars. It was about the whole fucking package, man. I was born to be on the front covers, man. It's not arrogance, it's just, it's a fact. Apparently, I'm in England, planet Earth, and we're going to listen to our album really loud, and apparently people are going to give it marks out of 10. I'm not nervous about anything. I wouldn't put it out if I was nervous. Not nervous. I hope people like it. If you don't like it, go fuck themselves.
I work at ANEW, so for me, a lot of my life is spent sort of following Liam Gallagher's antics around. So it's pretty good that he turned up to kind of listen to his own album with everyone, but he sort of played it in a very Liam way. Towards the end of it, you can see his silhouette dancing to his own music. It's kind of exactly what you want Liam Gallagher to be doing.
Bands only do this when they're confident that they've got a great record. They don't do it when they've got a record that they kind of know is a bit botched. It expresses the confidence that they have in the record, I think.
It's the top nipple right here. Fuck the music, the nipple's great, but nice one for turning up and having a listen, man.
With the whole, the Day-Sheet production and everything, it's got a very, very sort of different flavour to anything he's done before in either band, I think. I was really impressed.
Yeah, I do care what journalists think. I want them to like it, I want them to get it, because I want them to get me, I want them to get us as a band. It's sort of like, it's a validation for the way you feel about the music. If you like it and others like it, then you feel validated and you feel like, yeah, you made a good album.
What's going on here today? I think there's some fans getting invited upstairs to listen to the album, and they're going to get rudely interrupted halfway through. They're going to come down here, and the best band in the fucking world, they're going to hit them in about 6 tunes, and they're going to freak out, hopefully.
Thanks very much. Now, a lot of you have come a long way down for tonight, and it's going to be a little bit special for you now. You're actually going to come downstairs and see the band play live some of these songs.
think this album will get you kind of new fans, or do you think you've kind of got so many now that there's like a core?
Oh, there's always room for a few more fans, mate, especially in Beady world. Without that, it might get us a few, it might lose us a few. We've not got that many to lose anyway, have we?
Where do you think it stands in your career?
This album?
Yeah.
I think it's fucking up there. I don't know where, but it's up there, man. When you look back in 20 years and some of Oasis records, I sold a lot of records, you would go, fucking hell. To me, I do anyway now, I listen to the sing and I go, fucking hell, it's a bit fucking... I think it's a mega record, man. A mega record.
Do you know that it was 20 years ago today that you signed with Oasis? Does that seem like a long time to you?
It seems like another lifetime, you know what I mean? It doesn't seem like yesterday, it seems like another lifetime, another person, another thing. But it was great all the same, you know what I mean?
Do you think at that point you had an inkling that you'd still be doing the same kind of thing in 20 years?
I always thought I'd be an Oasis, I never thought I'd be doing it under a different name kind of thing.
How do you kind of feel like the health of rock and roll is at the moment?
Not good.
What can we do about it?
Ignore it, man. Just fucking ignore it. Fuck it, innit? Fuck scenes. Fuck that shit. I've done my bit. I always feel a bit weird, man, when it's sort of like out, you know what I mean? It's like sending your kids to school for the first time. It's not like, hey, you know what I mean? It's like a bit like, tomorrow will be different, it'll be like, but today's a bit like, it's like letting go of something that you've really worked hard on, you know what I mean? That's special, without sounding like a wanker. It's fucking true.
Getting on the stage, the hardest bit, innit? No, don't be honest. You go first. I ain't going first.
Matt. Just that trade thing.
Come on, carry on.
There was a quote somewhere saying that, you know, if the one didn't do well, that you might consider giving up.
Yeah, no, I was just in a weird, no, I'm not going to give up. You can't give up. I just might, I don't know. I might have the arse for a bit. And not fucking speak to no cunt and fuck off, you know what I mean? I'll keep making a record, but I might have a break for a bit, you know what I mean? Just do other things. As long as it sells healthy, you know what I mean? And it doesn't sell like nothing. It doesn't really matter to me, and that's God's honest truth. It doesn't really say it's a bad record if it's number 1 or number 2, or it doesn't really say it's any better than a record that's gone in at number 4. As long as you sell more than the last record, I guess, that's how you can get it in by, innit, you know what I mean? And you know you're going in the right direction.
What about like friends and family? Do you get like honest criticism from them?
Not really. A few people, yeah, I mean, I guess so. Who knows, man, you know what I mean? Say one thing to your face and I'll probably go, you fucking knob.
I think it's a great record. 8 out of 10. I would have switched the ballad to make it 9, but you know, it's a good record.
Obviously, people are going to try and read into all the lyrics, but you know,
Don't bother me.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking about that song. What did you make of that song?
I don't get involved with all the bullshit. You know, it's like it is what it is. I want to sing a song about fucking one of his brothers. So what am I going to do about it? Oh, don't write a song about my brother. It's easy as fuck. You know, who cares? I don't care.
So the first thing that initially struck me when I heard the music was Liam's voice. It wasn't as exaggerated, and it seemed a lot more natural to me and a lot more pure, and the production had far more space in it. And so I just thought it'd be really interesting to do something far more minimal and a lot more of a simpler, direct aesthetic than something too busy. I mean, there's influences of psychedelia in the record, but I don't think psychedelia visually has to be chaotic. So I tried to do something sensual and psychedelic at the same time.
Trevor's great. He's really got that eye. We all picked out that image because I think it just kind of put us in the headspace of the album.
Sound check.
No, he was ready for his fucking Peroni top. Okay, down. Nice to meet you. Okay.
greatest day of my life. It's just there. I've been brought up worshipping Liam Gallagher. He's the man. It's probably the greatest moment of my life. Fucking love you.
Cheers, pal.
Well, it's music my dad's always brought me up with, all the albums. I've seen him twice. Like about 3 years ago I had that. It's like, I thought it's pretty fitting, innit? It's my favourite band, you know. When I was a kid, posters all over the walls. Yeah.
Pretty Green, I mean, that's part of the whole package.
Yeah, definitely. Just part of it. Got up to Pretty Green. Got up the gear. You got up the gear, no gig.
Cool gear.
No mad for it, no gig.
First met Liam when we were about 14. I used to sell weed and that on the estate. And we used to hang about together, a little gang of us. I used to tell him he was special, man. Yeah, I knew he was special. I was in trouble for some crimes and I had to leave the country. And it was on the day that he signed his record deal. Oh mate, fuck jealous, man. I chose my life and he chose his life, you know what I mean? And I could have threatened his life. His mum, here's a funny story for you. His mum once snapped a brush over my head and chased me up the fucking path because I was a scumbag, man. I was no good, I was into drugs and stuff. I could have destroyed his life, yet he's saved mine, mate. In January this year, I was homeless, man. I was on that street there, painting these pictures, and people were throwing money at me in the street, man. And now I have a fucking studio in the northern quarter. I'm painting these on a massive scale, and I'm selling them for $1,000 each, man. You know what I mean? In the fucking area!
People think he's an knobhead, but he's done a 5-hour signing in HMV. He's came to Pretty Green and done a free gig for everyone. You would not see Noel Gallagher doing that in a million years.
Besides me kids being born, it's probably been the best night of my life. Seen Oasis 37 times. The fact that I've managed to see him and be 5 yards away from him tonight is just unbelievable for me.
Do you think that now, with a second record, there's now enough time and distance gone on that people will not just compare you guys to Oasis?
No, that'll always go. There's like a little fucking disease out there, isn't it? The Oasis disease going, yeah, it's not fucking be here now. It's not fucking standing the soldiers out. Thank fucking fuck it ain't, you know what I mean?
Why? Because that was then and this
Because that was then and we're not Oasis, you know what I mean? Oasis is Oasis when Noel's there or when I'm there and that's it, you know. The High Flying Birds ain't Oasis. I don't hear fucking people going on about that.
You never get back together?
I mean, I'd do it for like a reunion tour or whatever, just to do what that, you know, see what that's about. But I'm not begging for it. But then I don't think we make a record. I think we go back to this again. I know we'll go back to his High Flying Birds because I think me and him end up killing the cunt halfway through it anyway. You know what I mean?
Beady are a band in their own right. They're absolutely fantastic. They've got a great front man, Get Matcher, Andy Bell. They are proper great fucking band, man.
He's an absolute geezer. The only one can say he's a knobhead or anything like that, fucking dickheads, because he's cool. You're a fucking legend, mate. He needs to get a beer down us sometime.
Liam! Come on! Bands want to be bands. They don't want to be rock and roll stars. They're just content with being okay. Well, Liam Gallagher is the last true Keith Richards, Mick Jagger, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, proper rock and roll star. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about.
Woke up this morning, I was laid out flat on the dark side, with the moon and the room on the wrong side. I took a needle, saw myself right back at the scene.
stamped out, and they bat you paternally on the shoulder and say that there's no inequality worth speaking of and no more reason for fighting, because if you believe them, they will be completely in charge in their marble homes and granite banks from which they rob the people of the world under the pretense of bringing them culture. Watch out, for as soon as it pleases them, they'll send you out to protect their gold in wars whose weapons rapidly developed by servile scientists will become more and more deadly until they can, with the flick of the finger, tear a million of you to pieces.
A lot of people are just not meant to be rock stars, man. They're just meant to be people in bands. You gotta fucking want to live and die for it, you know what I mean?